Ladies and gentlemen, hello, welcome back to looking at another Nerf Blaster on my channel. My name is Luke Triton and today we are looking at the Modulus Ultimate Customizer Kit. Wow, this is one of the coolest Nerf products I have ever bought. I am so excited to be able to do the videos on this. This is one of the coolest things I've ever seen Nerf make. I was so excited to make the purchase as well. I had to buy my one on Amazon because I've yet to see this on shelves in stores here in the UK. And you can get this for about the same price as the Titan CS50. I'll leave it at that. Understandable so, because this comes with 7 attachments. Wow. I'm just going to quickly record this bit because the box is massive. Oh my goodness, this is just so cool. Okay, so I've never been more excited for a Nerf product like this one before. Well, maybe with the Stampede, but genuinely this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen Nerf make. Just taking it all in. It's a massive box. I love that because it's modulus, you can see it all as well. It's not like this picture expanded like you would see with like the N-Strike Elite line. But yeah, just gonna quickly take this in before I smash into this. God, this is so cool. Normally you get about 4 attachments with a blaster, like the Recon CS6, the new Scavenger. So yeah, some good stuff all there, but I need to take all of this off to review it all one by one. I'm going to start off with the blaster, because this is an interesting blaster, one I was able to finally get a hold of. This is the Demolisher. This is the blaster that you get with this kit, and I'm actually kind of glad that they reskinned the Demolisher rather than introduce a new one. Because the Demolisher has its own tactical potential. This was originally released back in 2015, I believe. And it was in the N-Strike Elite line. And obviously, as you can tell, so if I hold it here, it has a stock and barrel attachment point, a tactical rail on the top, and one on the side. Very good for the Modulus line, so I'm kind of glad that it did this. Of course, this is the 2-in-1 blaster, so it also has a missile blaster here at the bottom. Now, I am thinking about getting another Demolisher in the future, just to cut this off and add to its own kind of barrel attachment. But it's the sort of thing that we see other people integrate, and I'm actually kind of glad to finally get a hold of one of these, because it's a lot of fun. The missile system itself works as a sort of air system. There is no sort of trigger or anything like that, so as you can see here with this handle, that's how you kind of prime it, for lack of a better word. You pull out and then you push it back in as fast as you can to make it fire. You can just leave it as is and put next to no effort into putting it back down into this position here, and it won't fire, so that's a good thing, because there are times where I kind of slide this out and think, oh god, I hope I don't fire this, because this can do, well, not a lot of damage, but it can knock stuff over, so you do have to be careful. This is a semi-automatic flywheel-powered magazine-operated blaster. This does come with 2 of these 10-dart magazines. It's become the new 6-dart magazine back in the original N-Strike days, because the 10-dart magazines are basically everywhere. And whilst that's not good, it's not bad either, because 10 is obviously more than 6, but you can get a 12-dart magazine for basically the same size without that curve. So, I don't know, just give us the 12 darts, 2 more darts, that's good, isn't it? So yeah, as mentioned earlier, there are a lot of tactical potential for this blaster, the stock and barrel attachment points and the 2 rails, as mentioned earlier. So, why don't we have a look at all the attachments that come with said blaster? I'm balancing it on a very dangerous point. We're going to start off with something that I think is absolutely spectacular, one that I did in the past. This is a magazine holder. Oh yeah, so down here we go, is a custom-made magazine holder, just using the Raider Magwell. And here's a quick comparison of the two, so as you can tell there, this is properly integrated with the rail system, where my one is just glued on. It's the same sort of magwell where it has a button to kind of release the magazine when you want to do a tactical reload. I have another magazine here. So here's the second one that's included. And it does only insert, if I get this correct, one way. It's that one, there we go. So for the sakes of this magazine, because it's included, the curve goes away from the release button. So as you would with any other blaster, the release is closer to you. Now you can kind of hold it on the other side if you wanted, so if I put this back on and get the blaster itself actually. So there it is on the side, looking pretty good, and for this blaster in particular, because I'm not putting my hands anywhere near this side rail works really well, and obviously it's something I can definitely see myself using in the future. We just open that access rail so it doesn't rev up the flywheels. So yeah, if you have other blasters, say the Modulus ECS-10, you can switch it around to have the magazine holder on this side, which is, so if it makes sense, so whilst you're holding it like this normally, you can have it there. And what that will allow is for you to use your left hand to do the reload. So that way you've always got your right hand on the trigger. Which is what I prefer, but I'm a little bit annoyed that the magazine holder was designed in a way where you can only insert the magazine one way. But at the same time, understandable as to why. Let me get all this out of the way. There's so much stuff here. Oh my god. I'm going to have to put the blaster down here. So that's the first attachment. The next one is an amazing new stock. I love this so much, but it is a bit of a problem as well. So this is an adjustable stock with 3 points of adjustability. I'm going to quickly collapse the whole thing now. So there it is in its smallest form. We have standard extension like you will see with the Raider stock. We have this piece here that comes out as well. Ooh. And this piece, if I can actually find the button, that goes upwards. Look at that. So that is the cheek piece basically when I go to put this on the blaster. I go to rest my cheek against here. You can see it's actually quite comfortable for what it is. This isn't plastic. I wouldn't call this rubber, but I don't think it's silicone either. I'm not actually sure what this is, but it is comfortable. You're not like scratching your cheek or anything like that. So that's really good. But at the same time, because of the elevation of this, it is much higher than the rest of the blaster. As you can see along there, that's where the kind of height of the blaster is. But this whole section is raised quite a lot. So if you're going to put a sight along here, you might have to find a way to elevate it, which could be a problem. I also do like how they styled this kind of stock attachment point itself, this kind of end section here, to the back of the Demolisher. Now, I can only assume that this is a reskin of the original Demolisher. I don't have the original one, so I'm assuming that this sort of stripe thing along here is the same as the previous. But I do like how it all works really well, and if you were to buy this as your first Nerf product, it looks good, it fits really well, and of course, does its job. So I'm going to put all this back over there, put the blaster back down. Actually, I think I might put it back over on the dodgy shelf just because it's closer. What's next? Let's have a look at this brand new barrel attachment. This is something I cannot love. I want to love it, but I just can't do it because there's a few things that are good and bad with this. First of all, 3 tactical rails. One on the top, one on the bottom, and one on the side. This side is left bland. I don't really know why that's the case, and I don't really like that because, you know, if you got 3 there, you might as well get the 4th one in, because whilst most attachments are kind of fit to go on kind of the outside, if I'm holding it again like, oh, grab the blaster again, you're going to see this a few more times in the episode. So whilst I'm holding it like this, you can see the tactical rails are on this side, but nothing on this side. I don't really like that because, again, as mentioned earlier, I want to be able to do everything with this hand whilst I've still got my main hand on the trigger. But it's not going to, like, ruin anything. You can still work around it. You can get other attachments with the appropriate rails for it. And another attachment that comes with this that can allow that to happen, but we'll get to that later on. So yeah, I do like how it's a round barrel as well, because all the other barrels are kind of hexagonal, or what's the word, like pentagonal. Like you take the Retaliator barrel, like, for example, it's not exactly round, it's got all those bumpy details on it, and you see things like the Fortnite barrel. I'm just looking down at the other ones I've got, but yeah, it's no smoothness to it. This is nice and smooth. This does look really good. The tactical rails do make it a bit chunky, a bit weird looking, but tactical rails are forever cool. So that's number 3. Let's move on to number 4. Need to take these all off because I actually put them all together at the beginning of the video, as you saw. This is one that I am actually quite happy with. This is a missile holder, and this is really, really cool. Now, I was thinking about making a custom one of these myself, but then I discovered this product existed, so I thought, right, I'm just going to wait until I get one of these, and this is spectacular. So as you saw there, that rotates and locks into position every 90 degrees. On the back, as you can see, that's the tactical rail holder. I could just turn that there. So you can put this on any rail and have it face any direction, which is really cool. You can have it facing that way because that looks really intimidating, but these just hold missiles, they don't fire in any way. And yeah, the missiles themselves, we all kind of know them, we all love them. One thing I don't like is, here we go, grabbing the blaster again. Let's say that, just for argument's sake, I've got them like this. I'm going to grab this one first. There we go. That took a while. It took a lot longer than it should have. and it's turning too much. There's no kind of stiffness to it. I can literally just, with minimal effort, just turn this nice and easily. And that's a good thing, so you can position it how you want, but at the same time, if I want to get one of the end ones, I'm bending the missile, and it's all turning, and it's a pain in the ass to get back on, and it's a bit annoying that way. So I kind of go for the middle one first every time, and I try to avoid using the second or third one whenever possible. But yeah, I don't really like how that's the case, but I do like that it clicks in place. If it didn't click in place and it was just free-flowing, that would be so annoying. But yes, this is a very cool attachment. Time to put the put the demolisher back down over there. And now we go to the fifth attachment, probably the most popular out of this kit. The more rails attachment. I don't know what you would call this, but this is something I think a lot of people are actually quite excited for. So it's a tactical rail attachment with more tactical rails. How cool is that? That is absolutely amazing. Now if you look on the back here, you can see, like on this side for example, you can see a few notches in there. It's the same for this side too. So when I go to turn it, it snaps and clicks into place. There's no kind of wobble around with it, so that's actually proper strong in there. You might get a bit of wobble when you put some heavier attachments on there, like the laser pointer for example, because they have batteries in it. But yeah, I do like that this is a thing. I'm not too fond of how close these side rails are, because if you can put it on a blaster and you can only kind of do that, that's potentially still going to get in the way. Even then, it's a big long plate, and if you don't use these rails, it kind of looks a little bit goofy. Whilst tactical rails on their own can look cool, this sort of shape is, you kind of love it or hate it, like Marmite basically. But this definitely works as a rail extension. If you need to raise a tactical rail up for like an optic for any reason, this definitely works. Very good indeed. Now then, attachments 6 and 7 are ones that we have seen, but one of them is introduced in a new way, and that's this one. This is a flip-up sight like you have seen with the Recon and with the Long Strike. This is a reskin of the one that comes with the original N-Strike Long Strike. So yeah, we have two flip-up sights, definitely something more kind of grenadier focused. Definitely works with this missile launcher in particular. And yeah, I'm actually quite glad that they brought this one back, because I had the original Long Strike, but of course after I moved away from the Nerf hobby, sold all my blasters along with this attachment with said blaster. So again, it's nice to have this back, and with the Long Strike now re-released in the Modulus line, it's now a proper sniper, which is really good. And yeah, it's just a nice little flip-up sight. It's definitely nice to see new options as well. Technically this does exist, but for some nerfers introduced to the hobby for the first time, they're going to see this and go, oh, that's really cool. And it's fun to really just play with like this. One thing I don't like is that this is the sight you're supposed to look through first. So if I do this, I can see the camera lens, but you can barely see through it at all. If I try and get a little bit closer, you can see it, there we go, look at that. Absolutely terrible. It's too small. I think that hole needs to be a little bit bigger. I mean, it's a toy for goodness sakes. And finally, the last attachment included is the torch. Now this is one of the most common Nerf attachments I think I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure this was available on its own. I've seen this, I'm very sure I've also seen this come with another Nerf product. And I have three technically. I've got two of these, and one of them was turned into my torch grip. So yeah, that's this thing. I think it's still a very cool attachment. I do love the sleekness of it. The availability is also quite nice, because it's nice to have a light up attachment whilst it's not the brightest thing ever, and I can't really demonstrate it because it's really warm and sunny today. It's still a good option. So now then, let's do this in one take and put all these attachments back onto the blaster, just to show you how big and complicated this can become. Let's put the magazine holder back on the side. I'm gonna have this one over here. That's the what's this thing called? The barrel. That's the thing. The torch was there. We're gonna have the sight rail extender there. Then we're gonna put the sight on the top. Then we're gonna fold down this one here. Ooh. Bend down and get that one. That's the wrong way round. There we go. I'm gonna face that up. Actually, I'm gonna face it that way so it looks more intimidating. Yeah, look at that. So, in this series, when I look at Nerf blasters and do my reviews, I often end the video by saying whether it's worth the purchase or not. If you were only ever going to get one Nerf kit, make it this one. You get a bloody good blaster, you get 7 attachments, all of which are different, and you can have so much fun with this. It is very pricey, and prices are kind of varying at the moment. But this is genuinely the best Nerf kit I've ever seen. It's definitely worth the money. It is going to be a bit difficult to get. You can probably get them online like I did. But yeah, this is truly spectacular. I'm going to have some fun with this now. Combos are going to be quite interesting as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to put that down whilst I finish this video because it is very big. I do love that so much though. I do like the demolisher as well. Right, there we go. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you all ever so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next episode. Bye.